Episode number 76 of the Full Coverage Football Show. We are live tonight. 9 o'clock kickoff for us. 8 o'clock kickoff for the Buckeyes, so we're both in a different spot. Brother Drew, how you doing tonight?
I'm good. Yeah, we had to relocate to the double TV action. Bowling Green playing Tennessee is, I know, on everybody's mind. But no, the Buckeye game clearly is important. I didn't really want to watch it on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to to your point, you had to relocate as well.
Listen,
and so
I could watch it on a 55 upstairs where I normally do the show, but I'm like, I just bought a beautiful 75-inch TV. First Buckeyes game of the year on a NanoCell LG. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah,
I gotta go. And you got the killer setup over there, so
yeah. I got I don't even know how big the projector screen is, but yeah, we're doubling up on football. It feels weird. The one thing I'll say before we get started, that first quarter felt really long.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have to remember, like it seems, I don't know, every time we get back to football, which the one thing that we get with the immediate like targeting call, it's like, Jesus, we're back here again. Okay, I remember what this is like. But yeah, I was like, damn, that first quarter seemed to last forever, and they in Minnesota ran the hell out of the ball. So yeah, anyway, I know that's all scatterbrained, but
hey, this whole show, our best shows are usually scatterbrained. People love the scatterbrained shows, but we got to rein it in sometimes to make people still able to follow along with the way our ADD minds work. So tonight we're going to do our NFL preview. We do it every year. This is the 2021 NFL preview. We'll get to that in just a second, but let's first talk about this Bishop Sycamore thing going on. Did you watch any of the Bishop Sycamore versus IMG Academy game last Friday night, I believe, on ESPN?
I did not. I did not. So this just has to be. I feel like this is hilarious because ESPN just got right. Like, how do you let that happen?
They trusted the same group that brought them LeBron James for the first time, Tim Tebow for the first time. They trusted that group, but still, listen. I've covered high school football a lot.
You have.
And all you have to do, especially in Ohio, which is where Bishop Sycamore is supposedly at.
We live, for the record, we live in Ohio.
Yeah.
I've never heard of Bishop Sycamore.
I'm like, I turn it on. I get out of work late. I get home. I sit down. I'm like, oh, there's a high school football game on. I'll check it out. I'm like, Bishop Sycamore. I've never, ever heard of Bishop Sycamore. Right. So the go-to app around here and probably around the entire nation because they cover all high school football is Max Preps. I got a Max Preps account, media account. I log in, check it out. I'm like, they don't have anything for Bishop Sycamore. Who the hell is Bishop Sycamore? And then I'm watching and listening, and the announcers have no clue who these people are, and it's like 50-0 at this point.
Do you think they picked up what was happening? Because it felt like they weren't picking up exactly what was going on for a very long time.
It was very late in the game when they picked it up. We have no idea who this person is. Yeah, there's a big run again that Minnesota
and a touchdown.
So I mean, I'm like,
but no, you're right, dude. Sorry, it's and then to read like there was one player that basically said they were sleeping on the floor and stealing from
they're stealing from Kroger and Target. And then the coach had to beat up some homeless guy who broke into his car. These kids weren't eating. They would eat like one hot dog. They'd get tuna salad.
They weren't even kids, though, dude. Like, they're not kids.
There were kids from all around. There was a 15-year-old. That was a nice catch. And
it was great.
He's got to turn his back. But for some of these kids, they're 15-year-old kids relocating from New York. And then, you had the 21-year-old kids. There was another kid who was fresh out of the joint. Like, walk straight out, and they're like, oh, we're going to send you to Franklin University. No, they never did that. Where did they study? They studied at the library one time.
Franklin University makes
Where are we going to practice? They practice outside some sketchy complex or apartment complex they had. And then This school doesn't exist, and yet they match up against IMG Academy, which is a big-time football school coming out of Florida. And then this weekend, after they played 2 games in 3 days, allegedly,
they fired their coach.
They fired
an imaginary coach. Like, what? I don't understand. Like, how do you fire somebody from a school that isn't even a school? Like,
who fired him? He fired himself?
Yeah, I don't know. Somebody on social media fired it. They're like, yeah, this guy's gone. It's like, okay, who's taking offers for that next coach? Is that Art Briles? You think you can see Art Briles at Bishop Sycamore?
If anyone deserves that shot, it's Art Briles
He
to go there
does.
and get his ass beat by these clowns.
Yeah, that was a
what a nightmare. It's almost unreal. Like in 2000, like if this happened in like 1996, I'd be like, yeah, I mean, I understand. You know, you couldn't go on Ask Jeeves and get the information you wanted on your dial-up internet. You remember that shit?
Yeah, and I certainly remember the dial-up internet. Somebody would call and I'd get kicked off, man.
Mom, get off the phone. I was trying to IM.
I'm AOL messaging people over here. You know what I mean? Like, yeah,
these messenger with your little emojis, cheap-looking ones back in the day.
These were different times, man. And
if it happened then, understandable. But this is 2021. Everything is right here on your smartphone.
And your ESPN, like for like ESPN to get duped like that.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I don't watch. I don't want to say I don't watch ESPN because I'm watching ESPN now because the football game's on. But outside of live sporting events, ESPN has become a disaster.
Yeah,
and not to get off topic, but Tim Tebow.
We're gonna go into the first take. So for those of you who don't know, I'll explain real quick what Drew is bringing up. So he sends me earlier today a tweet that Tim Tebow will now be the co-host of First Take come Fridays, and they'll do other shows with Michael Irvin. So basically what we're going to have is Stephen A. yelling at a coked-up Michael Irvin, and then you're going to have Tim Tebow quoting Bible verses back at a yelling, angry Stephen A. I mean...
What? So... I didn't think it was. I thought it was like a fake thing, right?
Yeah,
like I legitimately thought it was fake.
When you said it to me, I did what ESPN should have done with the Bishop Sycamore. I immediately went on Google and I researched it. I'm like, there's a lot of really good sites saying this is true. And my God, I look blue in this computer right now. I don't know if I look blue to you people, but I look like a damn Smurf.
You as a person look like a Smurf, 100%.
Yes.
And my lighting might not be good, but no. Like, so. It was weird because I don't watch any of this stuff, but I'm on the social media platforms, and I guess Stephen A. called in to like thank Max Kellerman, but like Stephen A. like said, I'm done with Max Kellerman. Shit with Max Kellerman. Well, by the way, he's terrible as Stephen A. Smith is. But my favorite is social media kept doing these tweets like, "Oh, Tim Tebow's next venture is basketball," and they put him like a basketball. You know what I mean? And then the fact that he signs on to ESPN. ESPN has no clue. And to your point, coked out Michael Irvin, who just rambles about ridiculous. No, not okay. Allegedly, we could okay, whatever. But like, what? So you have a dude that's known to at least party and partake in illegal substances, and then you have Jesus himself. And then Stephen A. Smith's there. Like, what the hell is that show? Like, I don't know. How is that a thing?
Are they going to get all three of them together? Because I want to see that. I really do. I want to see all three of them lined up together and see how this thing goes. Beastie's checking in. Hey, boys, next Thursday. Absolutely next Thursday. Probably should have done this Thursday, but we're all over the place tonight. And it's better we wait
it's best
until next Thursday to get Chris going. And, hey, for those of you checking out this show, and no, if you follow Chris, make sure you do. If you're on Twitter, at Detroit Beastie, go to bonfire.com/store/FCFS-cheese. Check out the new merch we got up there. Everything goes to charity. And we got 2 Beastie shirts up there, both with some pretty cool things going on with QR codes and everything. I am distracted. For anyone watching this show, thanks for watching because we're hardly paying attention to ourselves right now.
I'm paying attention. I'm laser focused.
Chris is going to need 2+ hours. We're going to have to start early. I'm going to have to start in the car on the way home from work next week. We're going to get this thing rolling. But yeah, We let Chris go as long as he wants because Chris is awesome. Follow him on Twitter
The
at
bottom of the barrel
BeachRayPC.
tweet today just got me like amped up for like football because like
Absolutely.
because like Chris's bottom of the barrel is like when you know like it's the one thing you is the first thing you want to look at when we're talking to anything. And so
100%.
I saw the tweet and it was like, damn, it's been too long, man. It's just been too long.
Finally.
Yeah, we're here. We're
We
here.
are finally here. We got football next week, NFL football. This week we got college. We will talk college football later, our game of the week, and we'll pick 3 games this week because we got to bring that up. We got to get going. I got to get a big lead on Drew so I can blow it once again. And for those of you who were with us on the show last year, let me show you this as we can get into it. Our game picks last year, 110-54 was my record. Drew 111-53, but I was up like 20 games on him.
Yeah,
I was up.
I always had the upper hand. People were saying I was there was no way I was going to lose. Yeah, so those don't shock the people. I mean, no, last year was,
I know, guys.
Last year was this. Yeah, it was you kind of choked as they would say, and it was sad for you and your
and
family.
Sadly, it was a sign of what would happen later on that month, and we won't talk about that right now. But let's get back into it. So yeah, bottom of the barrel starting next week. We'll bring Chris on and we will get into that. And we all love bottom of the barrel. And no, we're not just talking because Chris is watching the show or not just because we like Chris. We like Chris. We love Chris. He's an awesome dude. But bottom of the barrel really is the article to go to for all your fantasy needs. Especially if you are playing any DFS, you have to check out bottom of the barrel. I do it every week. As soon as I see it's out, as soon as I get that tweet, I'm on it trying to retweet it as soon as I can. Next week, Chris will join us, and now we will get into our NFL preview. Let's start in the AFC East, the young quarterback division. Every quarterback in this division now, less than 25 years old. Josh Allen, the old man at 25. Tua at 23. Zach Wilson at 22. I mean, these are young pups we got here, man. AFC East. Used to say, oh, it's the Patriots division. I mean, we got Mac Jones there now, 22 as well. But this is now Buffalo's division. Am I wrong?
No.
You see any other team coming close to Buffalo in this division?
No, I mean, I think the Patriots are going to be a solid team with Mac Jones because I think he seamlessly goes into an offense that he's just tailor made for. Which when he got drafted there, both you and I said this is the perfect situation for Mac Jones.
Yep.
The fact that they just cut Cam Newton was interesting. But I really do think it's the perfect situation for Mac Jones. But it's Buffalo's division. I mean, the team's stacked. I expect Josh Allen to have a huge year. What the addition of Stephon Diggs, I think, really made things change in Buffalo 100%. As far as that offense just got humming. Because Stephon Diggs' ability his route running ability is second to none. I mean, he put himself for sure in the top 5 conversation at wide receiver, and I think it's more 3 to 1.
100%.
So I like them, and then it's tough because we're talking about Tua, and there's some weapons there in Miami, but it's really tough to pin what we think of Miami right now. And then we talk about the New York Jets, and I like Zach Wilson. I like what I think Zach Wilson is going to become over time. But I look at this Jets offense, and I just don't see a lot of options and things that are going to help him succeed early on. There's not the weapons there, and I know they went out and they signed a wide receiver. So I get Corey Davis is there, but at the same time, what other weapons are you counting on offensively when you're the New York Jets? So I'll go Bills, Pats, Dolphins, Jets, in my opinion.
I think Pats and Dolphins are on the cusp of being good enough to contend. Defensively, at least for both teams, I think you can do that. Offensively, I don't know what you're getting out of either of those teams, so they can't match up yet with the Bills. For the Jets, I like Corey Davis. I think Corey Davis can finally start to move into the Corey Davis you expected with the 5th overall pick in the draft. Now, as the number 1, we'll see if he turns out. I thought, Corey Davis is going to be a hell of a player. Never turned out to be the player we thought. After that, you got Jamison Crowder, okay? I mean, you got Denzel Mims, who you drafted last year, but you're not getting I'm not scared of any of those guys really right now if I'm any team in that division. So I'm with you. What do we see out of Zach Wilson this year? You want to see growth. You want to see him work through the struggles. You want to see him fight through that, get better every day. The Jets next year is a big year for them.
I agree.
But for this year, though, it's the Bills division, and then every other team is just focusing on getting better. The Bills, they got a lot of pressure on them. Can they live up to the expectations? I think they can, because I think what Sean McDonough has done, what they've done so far with that roster, the way they've rebuilt everything, I think they're doing really well. I like everything they put around Josh Allen, and that defense is just getting better. And Stephon Diggs, like you said, absolute stud.
Yeah.
And I mean, that kid went from a lot of people saying he's a head case. He goes there, shows he's a leader, shuts his mouth, just plays football, and kicks ass. And that's their division. I mean, it's that simple. We can talk more about the division later, but that's all you really need to know about that division. It's Buffalo's to win. Everyone else is going to be chasing. Now, do you think any other team can make the playoffs from that division?
Yeah. It's tough because there's a lot of teams I like in the AFC, but I do think that New England has the opportunity to make the playoffs. Mm-hmm. It's weird. We add this 17th game, and I think it really lends teams and their fans to kind of be like optimistic for a longer period of time. Now my team, my fans, we know where we stand at the dinner table. We're getting the scraps and then the shit that's already been chewed up because we're not going to be good. But yeah, so I think New England is the other team. The Dolphins are a kind of a wild card, but I can't sit here and tell you I think the Miami Dolphins are going to make the playoffs.
I'm with you because I don't think they've committed to Tua, and we don't know we're getting out of Tua. I think Mac Jones right now is the most likely second best quarterback in that division for as far as being set up for success. And that's weird to say.
No, I know it's weird, and it's good for Belichick in New England for just knowing what they saw and just making the move, right? Like it shocked a lot of people, but we saw it in the preseason, and yes, I know it's the preseason, but it's just it's tough because Cam Newton had a game where he looked good in the preseason, but you and I have said for a while Cam Newton he's done in my opinion.
Yes,
so and he can post videos and we can see things, but like we know the preseason is vanilla and whatever you're seeing is against backups. Like, okay, Cam Newton picked apart Bishop Sycamore, right? So like we don't say
Bishop Sycamore picked up Cam Newton.
Yeah, exactly. Breaking. Go ahead and post that. But like I think he's gonna have to understand that. He's gonna have to understand that he's gonna have to take a backup role. Yeah. And his opportunity is going to be to when somebody goes down, and this happens across the league all the time. Guys go down, right? Yeah. Like there's injuries, especially at the quarterback position. So he's going to have the opportunity. When he gets that opportunity, he's going to have to take it. But at this point, we saw, I know it's preseason. Mac Jones looked composed. He looked like he knew the playbook. He walked into exactly what we kind of expected in this fit. And I think Mac Jones gets drafted by the Jets. It's a completely different scenario. Mm-hmm. I think that what New England wants to do and what Josh McDaniels wants to do is perfect for the player that Mac Jones is.
It is. And you mentioned it with Cam. Listen, Cam in the preseason, he's a former MVP. He should be picking people apart in the preseason. Do I think Cam Newton, if I had Cam Newton on my team, would I want him to start 17 games? No. You give me 3 games of Cam Newton, I'm going to feel a little better about that. I think he can be solid in 3 games, but I don't expect the world out of him. Now, for that division, yeah, I'm with you 100%. Everything you said, dead on. Got nothing else to add. Let's move on to the AFC North. I will let you start with the AFC North. Who is winning the AFC North this year?
It's the Browns. It's Cleveland Browns. It has to be the Cleveland Browns, right? It really does. Like Cleveland has to win this division. They're the best team in the division, which is weird. And we wanted to, last year we had the God bless America. last year we Cleveland finally had expectations for what we we thought they were going to be a good team. The year before with Freddie Kitchens, they had expectations and they shit the bed, right? So it shows us on paper one thing's so you can say on paper that team with the coach by Freddie Kitchens was good enough to win the playoffs and everybody bought into the hype. Kevin Stefanski's shown that he is a big time head coach, and I think he's going to be in running for coach of the year or head coach of the year. I really do. And I think Cleveland's primed to win 13 or so games. I really do. And there's no reason they shouldn't. Baker Mayfield doesn't have to be the greatest fantasy starting, you know what I mean? Like, all he has to do with that running game and the ability to rotate in Kareem Hunt, who's also a fantastic pass catcher out of the backfield. Mm-hmm. And then you throw in OBJ. And I think the one thing with Cleveland, in my opinion, is I think Baker's matured enough as a quarterback to where he felt like he needed to force feed the big name and OBJ to where Baker's showing that he's that guy. He's that guy, right? So it's not like he's going to – I do think there was a time where he was force feeding things to OBJ early on, and I think that he's kind of shown – not only myself, but the team that he can roll without him. And that's exactly what he did last year. And he was extremely successful. And with that play action there, they have a lot. It's a 13-win team, in my opinion.
The roster is absolutely a 13-win roster. However, they have bigger expectations this year. When they had the big expectations on them, led by Freddie Kitchens, they faltered. Right out of the gate, they were terrible. Now, totally different head coach because Kevin Stefanski doesn't think about last year. He's not thinking about week 2. He's 1 week at a time. Are the Browns the best team on paper in that division? 100%. Should they win the division? I'm with you on that. They should. But the Baltimore Ravens, in my opinion, are still the team to beat in that division because they've done it consistently. They have a head coach who's been there.
That's weak. That's a weak. No, that's weak. Don't like it. That's a Browns fan talking. That's ridiculous. They're not the team to beat. They just lost one of their best players.
They did
for the season.
And J.K. Dobbins, but they just picked. I mean, Gus Edwards will run.
Okay, we're gonna act like the Gus bus is the next. Like, what are we doing?
Listen, I'm not hitting the Gus bus.
No, I don't like that. I don't like that take. I don't like it.
I think it's their division to lose, but the Browns should win it. And listen, obviously, yes, I'm a Browns fan, and I expect the Browns to.
You're scared, is what you are. You're scared.
I mean, my team. I'm used to it.
Stop being scared.
But I expect this team to win 12, 13 games. I think Baltimore can do the same, though. Can the Browns, late in the season, will they be able to get over the hump and beat Baltimore when they need to? Remember the Monday night game of the year last year. The Browns had it, should have won it. They broke down. Now, the Browns' defense far improved at this point.
Well, except to soft that secondary that gets hurt every other day.
Soft, I mean, kind of, but injury-prone, absolutely. Well, injury-prone, we'll go with that because –
okay, that's fair.
I mean, I've been agreeing with you, but it's more injury prone than anything. And Minnesota is up 14-10. So if you notice little times or our face, yeah.
I started getting bitchy with you there for a second. Yeah, we're now 14-10.
Because everyone is picking the Browns, and they should, because the Browns are that damn good. And it's hard for me to even think that this team is that damn good that they should be in Super Bowl conversations. Are they as good as the Bills? I think so. I think they're actually better than the Bills if they play up to expectations. Are they better
they're not
than the
Chiefs? Favorite to win the division. But you think they're as good as the Bills, but they're not good. They're not the favorite to win the division.
No, it's different being the favorite. I think they should be the favorite. But will they? They need to get used to being the hunted. They have to live up to expectations. If they come out and play Kansas City tight, head for head, pass for pass, and this game is close, I'll start to buy in more that they're ready for it. Are they ready for the spotlight? Baker, year 2 in this offense, first time he's been in an offense 2 years in a row. You got Nick Chubb, you got Kareem Hunt, you got OBJ, you got Landry, you got
Kareem Hunt for 1 more year.
Yeah, well, I think 2 more years. I think this year and next year, but they'll probably, if they're smart, move him next offseason.
Well, it's just too much money to be wrapped up in 2 running backs.
I mean, he's got a fair contract, but they should start to move him next year because you're.
Well, remember they signed him for 1 year, $1 million.
Yeah.
Last year,
and people were against it because I mean they needed a kicker at the time, but No, we're gonna let that one go. But yeah,
All right,
Baltimore is a hell of a team. Listen, after that, I have no faith in Pittsburgh. They're old. The wheels are falling off. There's no backups there. I think you get a great year out of Ben Roethlisberger and Najee Harris plays out of his mind. I think they can win 9 games. But I expect this year to be the closest that Mike Tomlin has come to finishing under 500. Hell, I think if the Bengals can get anyone to block for Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase remembers he has hands and to squeeze the ball into them.
I don't read a lot into the Jamar Chase thing. Like the dude took a year off football.
Yeah. Is it a case of the yips?
I think once things start flying and he's going to be just fine. Fine. And I think as far as a fantasy evaluation, people are kind of like selling him at this point because of the drops. Listen, there was a reason all of us were as high as we were on Jamar Chase when it came to draft time last year. I'm not giving up on that. If we want to just do that, then that's fine. But you're right. What was the thing that we talked about? Do you take the offensive lineman to protect your quarterback, or do you take the flashy piece? They took the flashy piece. So let's see if the line can block anybody. I have Cincinnati finishing in the cellar, the Steelers in third, and the Ravens in second, as far as I'm concerned.
That's the way it should be. But will it happen? Browns, don't buy into your hype. Live up to expectations 1 week at a time. Follow your coach, and you'll go very, very far. Let's move on to the AFC South, which is obviously the Houston Texans division. No, we're not even going to joke. And as we talk Houston Texans, let's go into what I say every single week. Hey, Raj, how you doing? I've been tweeting at you like at least 5-6 times a week here, hitting you up at NFL Commish on Twitter and with my Hey, Raj, how you doing? And then tweeting out the Dumb and Dumber picture of the la, 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 because we are still here starting football and Deshaun Watson is still on an active roster. The Houston Texans suck. Their roster is trash. The guy who is now Alabama's offensive coordinator, which I just remembered this week, Bill O'Brien, gave that team no future, no hope going forward other than having Deshaun Watson. You should have at this point stepped up and put that man on the commissioner's exempt list because you have that power. There are 22 pending lawsuits. Yes, no criminal charges at this time, but 22 pending lawsuits of sexual misconduct of some sort on this man. He needs to focus off the field before he gets on the field again in the NFL. At this point, put him on the exempt list, open up a roster spot for the Houston Texans, and let's all move on from Deshaun Watson for at least this year, which sucks because some people would like to use him in fantasy, but he lived in his own fantasy Bill Cosby world, and this is where we're at right now. Raj, hit us up. Full Coverage Football Show. You know where to find us. Do the right thing. I'm not going to go there. But yeah, let's talk AFC South. Who you got winning this division?
Titans
division to lose.
Yeah, I go Titans, Colts, Jags, and Houston.
Yeah.
I think it's just it's a lot to ask down there in Jacksonville of a rookie quarterback, a rookie coach. You lose Travis Etienne for the season. I understand Laviska Shenault, DJ Chark. They have weapons down there.
James Robinson, stock.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I still think they're the third best team. I know we get Carson Wentz thrown in when we talk about the Indianapolis Colts. I think if he stays healthy, Carson Wentz kind of has I don't want to say a year where he bounces back completely, but I don't think Carson Wentz was as bad as he was last year and a half in Philadelphia after what we saw. So I do think that he's an improved player, but yeah, this is Tennessee's division to lose, in my opinion.
Tennessee should win this division going away. The Colts, I like them, but I'm not expecting them to be anywhere near what the Titans are. The Jags, I like what they got in that roster, especially on offense. I like Chark. I like Shenault. Like you said, I like James Robinson. We need to see growth out of Trevor Lawrence the entire season. I think we'll see that. Going into next year, I think then your expectations start to rise. Can Urban handle losing? That's the biggest thing. Guy lost like 12 games in his entire college career, and now he's got a chance to lose 12 this year. Houston could possibly go 1-16. Maybe they become the first 0-17 team. That's
I don't think the roster's that bad, dude. I don't think it's that bad.
Terrible.
I don't think it's that bad.
I mean, what are you getting out of Tyrod Taylor? Or is it Tyrod this week? Whatever he wants to be called. How much are you
were
Tyrod?
talking about, I thought you were talking about the Jags, dude.
Nope,
sorry.
Texans.
I take that back.
The Jags,
I thought you were talking about the Jags, and I was like, damn, like that roster is better than that. No, the Houston Texans, They won't go 0-17, but they're going to flirt with it for a while. I certainly do believe that.
No, the Jags.
That's my bad. Sorry.
I think the Jags can win 6 to 8 games. I think
what?
they can, but I don't think they will. But yeah, Houston just garbage. This is Tennessee's division. I think Tennessee probably the 4th best team in the AFC overall right now. But we'll see. Let's move on. AFC West. Clearly a division favorite in this one, and that's Patty Mahomes, Andy Reid, Travis Kelce, and the Kansas City Chiefs, who open against the Browns next Sunday night, or next Sunday afternoon, I should say. Anyone going to come?
I hate them night games. I hate them.
Yeah. Anyone coming close to Kansas City in this division? What do you expect out of Justin Herbert?
The Chargers are on their way. I expect them to be really, really good. I do. A healthy Austin Eckler, a healthy Keenan Allen. I think Justin Herbert, I almost called him Joe Herbert. That's Joe Burrow. But Justin Herbert surprised me last year. And I don't want to say he surprised me. He was fantastic.
He was.
And I just think that team has the potential, and I think they're growing, that they're going to finish second in the division. But it's the Chiefs division to win. I mean, right? You're talking about probably the best player in football. The more I look at the Chiefs roster, though, and and they've done a great job of retaining the guys that you needed to. But outside of Tyreek Hill, their wide receivers aren't spectacular. I'm not saying there's no weapons there.
No, you need to see Mecole Hardman step up this year.
Yeah, well, you're right. Yeah, that's not going to happen. But so I don't think that the Chiefs are as bulletproof as people want to make them out to be. But I feel like it's definitely their division to win and to lose, rather. And then I'm going to go with the Raiders at 3 and the Broncos at 4. And the Broncos roster is there. They just don't have a quarterback.
Now, something that I want to ask Chris next week. I'll bring this up and I'll talk to you about it first. Now, Teddy Bridgewater, probably best for them on the field as far as maybe getting them wins. But Drew Lock, I feel like, was a better quarterback for fantasy players on that team. Because I feel like he will throw more deep balls, which would have made Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton, KJ Hamler better fantasy pickups.
So when they go off on playing him, right? So now it's Teddy's job. So is Drew Lock? So what's Drew Lock now? Like I don't think they gave him like a fair opportunity to lose the job. I know he wasn't great, but that is the ticket that could make you a good team, where you know what Teddy is, right? You know what Teddy is. So it's tough because now it's like, okay, so we're just off of Drew Lock now, because you can't really just bring him back. I mean, I get it if Teddy's bad, but that's tough.
It is tough. And it's especially hard for a kid like Drew Lock to lose his job to a vet in the preseason. And yeah, you expect Teddy to be better in the preseason. You expect him to be more versed in practice than
Shouldn't let go of Chad Kelly.
Chad Kelly, listen, that dude will sleep on your couch. That's he'll be sleeping anywhere. It doesn't matter.
Football guy.
I mean,
Chad Kelly would have this. If Chad Kelly was starting quarterback,
Super Bowl.
Well, yeah, I think the Chiefs would be in serious trouble there.
They would be. I mean, Pat Mahomes' little froggy voice would be terrifying.
How are you feeling about the Buckeyes? 14 to 10.5. How are you feeling? If I gave you a scale from 1 to 7, because I don't like to do 1 to 10 scales because that's bullshit. If I give you a scale from 1 to 7, your confidence level that the Ohio State Buckeyes win the second half, where you at? Right
now I'm at a 4.
Okay, a 4. That's not feeling great. Mm-hmm. It's feeling like we got a chance, but it's not feeling great. I'm kind of right there with you.
I mean, the Buckeyes, you see on the field how much better they are athletically. You see what they can do, but they're not playing like a team right now. You got a bunch of athletes out there doing their own thing. CJ Stroud hasn't gotten in rhythm. He's looked okay.
QB1's looked bad in the second quarter. He wasn't good. The interception was a terrible throw behind his receiver.
Yeah.
He hasn't looked – the first quarter, we were like, hey, let's go. I think of the meme or the GIF or GIF or whatever, where they said They had us in the first half. That's how I feel about the first half. Like in the first quarter, we were like, yeah, let's go. And then the second quarter.
Buckeyes start with the ball in the second half, right?
Yeah, they do.
You have to score on that opening drive. You have to make a statement.
I agree. All right, sorry. You want to hit the NFC real quick?
Let's hit the NFC. NFC East.
This
division.
It's the Cowboys. I have to pick the Cowboys. I have to. Here's the deal. I have to pick the Cowboys. It's just the roster. They got talent. I mean, I want to say the roster. I think the offensive line is healthier.
Yep.
And I think what 3 years ago we would sit here and say this is the best offensive line in football by hands down.
Yeah. Maybe.
And then it just wasn't. They got injuries. Guys are tired. Like last year was not good.
Nope.
You bring Dak back. You want to talk about weapons? I mean, Dallas has them. Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup. And then Ezekiel Elliott, I think, has a big year. I think this is Dallas's it's their division to lose, in my opinion. Washington football team, though.
The WFT.
I think they're going to be solid. I really do. I think they're the second best team in this division. Ryan Fitzpatrick, man. I think
magic.
Yeah, like with Antonio Gibson and Terry McLaurin, there's weapons there. I think they're going to be decent offensively, and we know the defensive line and the defense. I think their defense is a top 3 defense. So I don't think Fitzmagic has to be magical, right? I think he can just be Ryan Fitzpatrick. I really do. And so I think that they have an opportunity to win the division, but I'll take Dallas, and then I'll go with the Giants. I don't know with Danny Dimes. I mean, I don't know if any of us do. It really is dependent on how healthy and productive Saquon Barkley can be. And I do see that they had him pinned to hopefully play in week 1. So we'll see how that is. Certainly it'll be in a limited role week 1, but then the Eagles. I mean, the Eagles will look terrible in the offseason. I know it's the offseason. Okay, I get it. But like they've just looked bad. Mm-hmm. And Jalen Hurts, they've clearly not, kind of like we've talked about with the Dolphins, they've not like committed themselves to Jalen Hurts at this point. And I don't think there's a lot of weapons there for Jalen Hurts to become great with. So I have them in the cellar in that division.
I would only say one thing. I would flip the Giants and the Eagles because Danny Dimes just does not look even decent right now. He has made just poor decisions, and it's not athletically. It's not what he's throwing. It's the decisions he's made, especially in preseason.
See that run he had last year?
Yeah, I mean, until the turf monster got him.
Listen, did you see how that athleticism? It's tough for you to be saying these things about Danny Dimes. No, I agree, though.
Until they start running full-on read option, and only full-on read option, then they're not going to win anything. Saquon, I'm not expecting huge things out of Saquon. Maybe second half of the season.
Early, yeah, I agree.
But I just don't trust it. And yeah, Dallas, at least overall roster, way above the division. But that sexy-ass defensive line we're talking about in Washington, those dudes are killers, baby. If you want to watch football and just see dudes get dirty down and just beat the hell out of other dudes, you watch that defensive line.
Bro, they did it. Like we talk about it. They went Montez Sweat in the first round. Then they went chasing. Like they're building. It's a hog molly line. Like they're going for the quarterback. I could watch Washington football team, which I think they should just stay Washington football team for the record.
We're used to it at this point.
It's fine. Like we're cool with it. Like that defense is electric. That front four is getting after it. Any third and long situation is just much watch television because they get after it. And I can't wait to watch that team. That might be one of like the teams outside of like, because I watch a lot of Lions and I watch a lot of Browns because the one thing is I hate the scumbag Guardians and I also hate the Cavs. But you guys are in the AFC. We're in the NFC. We're both terrible.
We're going to have a 7-foot lineup going against you every game. And hang on, time out here. Does Brady Quinn have a punchable face?
Brady Quinn?
Do you just see his face and want to punch him? I don't know why, but every time I see Brady Quinn, you have a punchable face.
The problem
I'm on
is,
record saying
the
that.
problem is like for me, if I punch someone, I'm probably gonna get my ass kicked. So like, I don't want to. I don't like. Not many people have punchable face for me.
Brady Quinn whooped my ass. I'm not going to think. I mean,
Yeah.
most likely Brady Quinn, he's a big, muscular dude. He would probably whoop my ass, but I want to punch his face. I mean, maybe I just want to punch someone because I think same thing kind of about Matt Leinart. They both have punchable faces.
They're kind of the same looking faces.
Yeah. Maybe it's just that.
Yeah. So you have a specific. You don't like pretty boy, like clean shaven dudes.
Maybe that's what it is. Not my type.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Let me fix my ponytail. As I say
Dude,
that
the Buckeyes gotta get their shit together, dude.
They do. They absolutely do. CJ Stroud 8 of 14 for 58 yards and a pick, but run the ball. You're running the ball 12 times, 127 yards. You're averaging 10 yards a carry.
You see the Quinn, you were what the fuck's name? Excuse my language, folks out there. I know your children and you guys are listening all together.
Yeah, this is what people watch at bedtime.
Yeah. This is the Sesame Street football show. Listen, you know, Ohio State fans, like they got 3 loaded quarterbacks. Like one bad game, you know they're going to be calling for CJ Stroud's ass to be benched next week.
Quinn Ewers just signed a $1 million deal.
Ewers or whatever. He's making millions, dude. He's out here
$1 million autograph deal,
dude. Yeah.
Do you have any urge to go get Quinn Ewers' autograph? Like,
no, I don't have an urge to get anybody's autograph.
Okay, like $1 million to this kid at 17, 18?
Yeah, like it's stupid, dude. I think we're getting all off the reservation tonight.
Let's go to the NFC North.
All right, please. Let's do the NFC North.
Who's winning the NFC North?
I'll let you take the NFC North first.
Listen, it's the Packers division lose. Minnesota after that. Chicago, because you're starting Andy Dalton after that. And then way down in the cellar, because this team is rebuilding, your Detroit Lions. But I will say this. The Lions have a plan. Yeah, they have an actual plan going forward. And
you're telling me you think we're in the cellar. You think the Lions are finishing the cellar.
I know it's a shock, but I do. I think they're finishing in the cellar. And I know you do too.
That's tough luck.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers, the Last Dance meme, all this stuff they want to put out. Yeah, so this is the last thing.
Did you go Packers, Vikings, Bears, Lions?
I did.
That's
what do you got? Well.
Yeah.
Listen, you're starting Andy Dalton. I don't expect anything out of Andy Dalton.
No, they're starting Andy Dalton for 3 games.
And their defense is taking a step back. You're not getting better on defense. Desmond Trufant.
I'm talking. Did you see the report that our guy Chucky tried to trade back for Khalil Mack?
Yeah.
He tried to.
We got through the AFC West without bringing up Chucky. First time we've been able to do that. But yeah, he's like, hey man, I should just reach out, maybe see if we can rekindle the old magic. He also thought about bringing in Brad Johnson to battle Derek Carr and Marcus Mariota for the starting job.
I love Chucky so much, but it's like I have no fundamental reason to. Like he's sorry. I'm sorry. I think that the Andy Dalton didn't start for long, 3-4 weeks, because he's just not better than Justin Fields. He's not. And Matt Nagy, he's like, I made a promise to Andy Dalton. Like, bro, you're still paying him the same amount of money. Like, play the better player. And I'm not saying that Justin Fields is going to light the world on fire, but I think what we've seen is he's the better of the 2 QBs, and we kind of know what Andy Dalton is at this point. Like the fact that it's like coaches think they can like resurrect Andy Dalton into fucking Peyton Manning. It's like, no, Andy Dalton's Andy Dalton. Like, we know what we've seen. Like, Justin Fields, mystery box. It could be it could be anything. Like, put it out there. Like, it doesn't make sense that they won't.
Listen, Andy Dalton, I thought Andy Dalton was a really solid quarterback for a long time, but he's not that anymore. He's on the downside of his career. He had a weak arm to begin with. That weak arm is getting weaker with age.
I thought Carson Palmer was a really good quarterback. It's the same. What do you think about if I give you Carson Palmer, and I know the Arizona part of Carson, and I give you Andy Dalton, right? We have what do we have? Do we have the Spider-Man meme?
Yeah, at this point.
Do we think Carson Palmer's better? Because I think Carson Palmer's better than Andy Dalton.
Carson Palmer is better. Should have been better. That injury changed him. He wasn't the same guy after the injury. Mm-hmm. So that's why you can have the Spider-Man meme of Andy Dalton pointing, because Andy Dalton was the same guy the whole time that Carson Palmer eventually became. So at the end of their career, they're really not that much different. I don't know what their numbers are, but we'll have to look deeper into this at some point.
No, we probably won't.
We're talking quarterbacks, do you think that Matt Nagy is not starting Justin Fields because he's worried about losing his job, but that's why Mac Jones is starting in New England, because Bill knows he's not going anywhere. And he knows that he can go through the bumps in the road with Mac Jones, but Matt Nagy knows he can't go with the bump in the road.
You know what, though? Yes, Matt Nagy has his job on the line, but if I'm Matt Nagy, I'm playing the guy that I think is going to keep my job, and I think that's Justin Fields. So, he's going to want to go with Andy Dalton until they start losing, because they're not that good. Yes, they're better than the Lions, but Justin Fields is the guy. But, yeah, you're right. To an extent, that if they play Andy Dalton, Matt Nagy's job, in his opinion, feels safer. I just don't know if that's actually like reality. Because playing Justin Fields is the way for you to win more ball games. That's it.
It is. And I think it's a way for you to keep your job, because you're going to be able to grow with the kid, and maybe the kid ends up liking you, things work out, and you're like, yeah, this is going to go.
At the end of the season, forward. You can just be like, I started a rookie quarterback. Like, our record wasn't great. Like, when you start Andy Dalton and then you throw in Justin Fields, it's like, how could you, when Justin Fields is better, the front office is going to say, how could you not see that he is considerably better than Andy Dalton? So what you playing Andy Dalton set us up to lose from the jump.
I'm with you. Justin Fields.
Fuck the Bears, by the way.
Yeah. The Bears. Anyway, NFC South, let's move on. Tampa Bay, New Orleans Saints, Atlanta Falcons, Carolina Panthers. Buccaneers should win this division easy. Hell, even if they started Blaine Gabbert, I think they win this division. That's how good I think that Tampa is. But obviously, they got the GOAT. I think Tampa is that far better than every other team in this division.
That's a joke, right?
Nope.
That's a joke, right?
New Orleans is okay, but what are we expecting out of Jameis?
No. The Blaine Gabbert thing.
No, I mean, kind of. Maybe a little bit.
What do you mean, kind of?
I think Blaine Gabbert could still win the division, even though he's terrible. That's how good I think.
Didn't he play for Missouri? He's a Missouri guy, right?
Yep.
Yeah, he sucks.
Yeah, he does.
Not that Missouri sucks, but like, so I just want to make sure you didn't think that Blaine Gabbert can win the division.
No, I think this team is that good that even with Blaine Gabbert starting, they could possibly win the division. Because I don't know what to expect from anyone else. Carolina's got Sam Darnold. I don't know what to expect from Sam Darnold. Are we getting a healthy Christian McCaffrey? Are they going to just run the hell out of Christian McCaffrey and kill the guy?
No.
Atlanta, you got Matt Ryan. You got Kyle Pitts. Everyone's so excited about Kyle Pitts.
Let's talk about that for real quick. If you could pin a yardage, so we've talked about this frequently, that rookie tight ends just don't put up the yardage. I think the only over 1,000 guy was like Jeremy Shockey. I think we've talked about it. But so if I ask you right now, what in 17 games, what's Kyle Pitts' receiving yards number look like in your opinion?
What's 17 times 60? Wow, 17 times 60 is 1,020. I think he could get 900 yards. But I think for Kyle Pitts' season to look successful, we're looking at 8 to 10 touchdowns. And that's what we look at.
Yeah, especially tight ends. I
mean, 17 games, you basically got to get 50 yards a game. And I think he can do that. I think they're gonna pepper the ball to him all the time. Yeah, you got Calvin Ridley on the outside. You got Mike Davis in the backfield. Mike Davis, nice player, but I'm not expecting a ton of him.
Yep. I agree.
I mean, what the hell? Their defense.
He's a dude. He's a dude.
I mean, their defense. Grady Jarrett's
their defense is ass, dude.
After that, nothing.
Their defense is ass.
So this is Tampa's division to lose. New Orleans, Nolans. What can
They're not even playing their like that's a disadvantage to not be able to play a quarter of your season away from the Superdome.
practicing at TCU, playing in Jacksonville, and you got Jameis. Jameis gets to go to Florida, though, and play those games, maybe eat some
Why are you
dubs.
practicing, by the way, why are you practicing in Texas and playing in Florida? You think that, like, you just do it all kind of at the same kind of location.
We'll see what happens.
Doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but here we go. All right.
But yeah, I don't know what to expect out of that team. Carolina and Atlanta, they could basically go back and forth. I don't know what to expect out of them. This is Tampa's division to lose. 100%. No one's even coming close. And we'll leave it at that, apparently. So we got one more division, NFC West. This division, this is a lot more interesting. Every team in this division, I think, has a chance to win the division. LA Rams, 49ers, Seahawks, and the Cardinals. Now, if I had to pick a team to win it, I got the Rams. I think Matty Stafford is going to look really good. San Francisco, they're going to be close. I don't know what to expect out of. I mean,
wait. You said if you had to pick a team to win this division, you pick Matt Stafford?
Matt Stafford and the Rams.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
I got them winning it.
Yeah.
Cardinals finishing in fourth. Who you got?
Arizona winning the. So clearly,
okay, we're going.
We're on the opposite end of things. I have Seattle.
Okay.
And in the second hole, and then the Rams, and then the 49ers.
Wow, you got the Niners finishing last. Interesting. Yes. Listen, the way that team plays, even if they they rotate quarterbacks, I think that team's good enough to win 10 to 11 games. Maybe I'm just still got that crush on Kyle Shanahan. Maybe I can't get over the fact that they weren't good last year, but they had Nick Mullins play a lot.
My light just fell over completely. I look a little. Does my complexion look okay? Yeah, my light fell over.
There's shadows, and I look like I can't breathe. So I look purple at this point.
Yeah, I just think. No, yeah, I think you're overvaluing Matt Stafford.
I am to a certain extent, but I mean, why you got the Cardinals winning it? What do you like? I just don't trust Cliff Kingsbury. I don't think his offense has changed.
I just love the weapons, I love what Kyler. I mean. I think offensively they're going to be really, really good, and they have lots of younger guys heading into the second year on the defensive side of the football. Justin Simmons wasn't that the guy? I sound all kinds off the reservation here. Yeah. So from last year, he was our first round pick. Are we talking about the same guy? Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So he originally last year. Early on was getting picked apart, but I thought that he kind of came into his own in the back half of the year. And again, I just think their offense is going to be really explosive, especially you add your guy, your boy, JJ Watt, who's probably washed at this point, but
playing across from Chandler Jones, going to help him. Going to help extend that career.
So I'm in on Arizona. You haven't finished in last. That's kind of rare that we disagree that
I like
much.
It's
I do. I do. You're wrong. I'm right. You're dumb. I'm smart.
You're Stephen A. I'm Tim Tebow.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, maybe in an hour, if I make the right calls, I could be Michael Irvin, but we're not going to get into that right now. But yeah, I can see why you see them winning it. I can totally see that because, like I said, any team could win it. I think the Rams overall are the best team. I think they can win it, and I'm a big Staff fan. Yeah, am I putting Staff higher than he should be? Possibly.
I hope the Rams win 0 games.
None. Great for you. It'd be awesome for you.
None of them. I'm not going to be rude, and I love Matt Stafford as much as anybody. The Lions fans they're like, oh, I hope Stafford succeeds. Nope, you can a couple years from now, but next year, nope, you can. Nope.
That draft pick.
Yep, we need this team to be as terrible as they possibly can be.
And they could be. Who knows how this is going to work? We don't know what we're going to see. We don't know how their running game is going to work. Cam Akers being lost for the season. That's big. I don't expect a lot of.
I feel like Cooper Kupp. Doesn't it feel like Cooper Kupp is just such a Matt Stafford kind of guy?
He is.
Like, I think Cooper Kupp could have a big year. I'm going to have to snag him in some of my leagues. League. I'm about to win your league for sure.
For sure. Well, it's a possibility. You made it. You got playoffs last year after the first year.
Well, the first year I wasn't necessarily comfortable with the scoring. The second year I figured it out a little bit.
That's because there's no league like this one. We play huge rosters that are
you guys
ridiculous.
exactly. You guys play like 75 players
And
with
2 tight ends.
triple flexes. Yeah. It's like I don't know. It was tough.
I was in too many regular leagues. I'm like, you know what? I got to make a league that's just a little more fun. But the league's always competitive, so it's good.
I'm playing in another league that's 20 teams.
Whew. 20 teams.
20 teams. I've never really done that. That's on Monday.
That's a tough league.
At least the people that I associate with are smart enough to know that you don't do leagues in like April after the draft. Like at least like I have a good feeling that everybody at draft's going to be on the field week 1.
Week 1 at least.
After that, we'll see what happens.
100%. So we did all our divisions. We finally disagreed pretty much on a division. I mean, we all went backwards, which is cool for once. Usually we got a pretty similar mindset. I mean, Drew's wrong for once, but we'll see how it works out. I mean, we'll see. Let's get into who you expect in the Super Bowl.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I want to take the Green Bay. This is hard for me to say because the Green Bay Packers and the Buffalo Bills.
Wow, I would love to see that matchup. That'd be a lot of fun to watch. However, I don't think it happens because
You're wrong. You're fucking wrong.
I do have Green Bay going to the Super Bowl. I think Green Bay is good enough to do it, and I think they finally get there. But I'm playing Kansas City. I think Kansas City is just too good right now, and Pat Mahomes they're going to roll one more year for sure, and then we'll see going forward what happens as all those contracts start to kick in. And who you got winning it?
I will take the Buffalo Bills.
I would love to
circle. Nobody circles the wagons, dude.
Nobody. I would love to see that happen.
I mean, listen, I like the Buffalo Bills. What if Pat Mahomes and the squad took a step back this year? And I'm not saying a step back of missing the playoffs, but one guy that wears 15 can't win games by himself. And Andy Reid can't win games by himself. I just think that like everybody is so shoe-in with them being so good. And then, and stuff.
I'm with you. I get it. But right now, when you look at that roster, I think they're better this year than they were last year. And I think they can win it. Would I love to see Green Bay win it this year? Yeah, I would love to see Green Bay win it. Just so Rodgers can give him the finger, walk into the sunset, move on. Or they're like, we can't let you go, Aaron. Hey, Ron, come back, baby.
Rodgers he's so good.
He is.
I was hoping this offseason madness got him out of the NFC North, but it doesn't. And he's just so, again, I think talent-wise, he's one of the best quarterbacks I've ever seen.
I was just going to say the same thing. Look, we're back on the same page,
We're back, man.
We're back. But yeah, I'm with you on that. But the thing is, in the AFC Championship game, I have the Kansas City Chiefs going against the Cleveland Browns, and the Browns losing. I did say the Browns. I think there's a chance they could not win the division. They should, but I have them making it the AFC title game. Now, who's your MVP this year?
Chris Olave.
Chris Olave? I'm good with Chris Olave.
Josh Allen.
I still can't believe Chris Olave is on the Buckeyes this year. That's still mind-boggling to me that he came back.
We're thankful for right now. We're thankful. Very thankful. Very thankful. Josh Allen, MVP. Josh Allen. For all the I think Stephon Diggs changed. I'm not saying Stephon Diggs changed completely. Like, I think Stephon Diggs gave Josh Allen the confidence to throw balls in windows that he might not necessarily have been comfortable with before. And because Stephon Diggs gets so open that it draws so much attention. And I think that he's done such wonders for Josh Allen that I expect such big things out of Buffalo. And I honestly think that their roster and everything else is set up. Like, they're ready to go. Like, they're a good enough team to make noise in the AFC, and hopefully just the Browns don't get in the way.
I hope the Browns do get in the way because that's who I got them beating to make to the AFC title. I got Dak winning MVP this year and comeback player of the year. Who's your offensive rookie of the year?
Mac Jones.
I like that. I was going with Trevor Lawrence. That's the easy pick, but
No, it is. I think that just the fit with Mac Jones as compared to like Urban being Urban and
yeah.
I think it's going to take a little while in Jacksonville to figure out what's going on. Where I think Mac Jones is ready to just kind of walk in and be that guy.
And I feel like Mac isn't going to be forced to win games right away. Where Jacksonville's going to have to push on Trevor Lawrence to win the games. Defensive rookie of the year.
I don't even have a defensive rookie either written down. Let me think. You go ahead. Go ahead. I'm thinking.
I am going with the homer pick. I was big on this kid in the draft. Surprised the Browns got him in the second round. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. I think he can be a do-it-all kind of player. I think he's going to be a difference maker for the Cleveland Browns, and I think he's the defensive rookie of the year.
I'm going to go with Patrick Surtain.
I like that pick.
Is going to be my pick.
Dig Pat Surtain, hell of a football player. Good fit in Denver. Now, let's move on. Let's pick some games. This will be our preseason. We won't let these count. We'll do 3 games. Let's go Wisconsin, Penn State.
Wisconsin.
I got Wisconsin. Bama, Miami.
Bama.
Yeah, let's do another game. Indiana, Iowa.
Iowa.
Indiana.
Terrible.
And now let's get into our game of the week. Game of the week this week is Clemson, Georgia. Game.
I'm going to go with Georgia. Yeah, Georgia.
Clemson ranked number 3, Georgia ranked number 5. I said last week I think Georgia's the best team in college football. I think they have to show it right away. But the crazy thing about this is a game where both teams can lose.
Oh, easily. Yeah.
And either team loses can still make the playoffs because you're actually playing someone to start. And that's a big kickoff in the Queen City Saturday night.
And it's better for your team. It's better for your team to play a team at your same caliber. Like there's no reason to play Rice or the Citadel or like play realistic games and go from there. Like I think it's the right thing to do because you can lose these games and still make the playoff.
That's why people were watching the Buckeyes are struggling. I said it was a 4, and I said they had to come out and score in the first drive. They did. But Buckeyes came out and they're playing Minnesota. They're not playing Akron. They're not going against, Bishop Sycamore or something. They're playing a real football team. They're rowing the boat, baby. And let's see what this defense does now. We'll go from there. But let's finish the show the way we always do. Once real games start,
We're
Ward's
back.
Wagers. We're back, baby. Hashtag Ward's Wagers, sponsored by the Tawny CBD Olive Oil. To order, call 440-479-4832 or email anandamij@gmail.com. $14.99 a bottle right now, even though I still got $16.99 up there because I don't know when the price is going back up. So it'll stay there. Hit it. What you got for us, brother?
Yeah, I'm going to take North Carolina on the road at Va Tech.
That's a Friday game.
Yeah, right? we understand that it is. We understand that it's hard to go in Blacksburg and win football games, but North Carolina is the number 10 ranked team in the country. I think they have a decent season. We talked about this. They're going to be decent. They're not going to be great. We'll take North Carolina, and I'm taking another road dog. We're going to go with Michigan State on the road at Northwestern. Michigan State's getting 3.5. 60% of the public's on Michigan State, and we love Mel Tucker. We have no problem with Mel Tucker and his sweet cigars and cool hats. We're rolling with that. Okay. And then we're going to touch on the game that we just touched on. Georgia, Clemson. Georgia is getting 3 points. I think the wrong team's favored. Again, we've talked about this. We think Georgia's entire roster is ready to win. They're good as it comes, and 55% on Georgia. So this one's kind of like a 50-50 as far as that goes. And then my last one, I'm taking this from one of my buddies. I'm going to take Ole Miss against Louisville. Ole Miss -10. Everybody loves Lane Kiffin. Everybody loves him. And 71% of the public is with Ole Miss. So we're going with North Carolina, MSU, Georgia, Ole Miss. Pretty easy 4-0 start to the season.
I see 4-0 start. I can see that. Killed it last year. See if I got your numbers here. I don't have the numbers. Last year it started out a little slow, but it was a COVID era, and we knew it was going to be weird. Things were going to be different, and then by the end of the season, you were well above 500 and killing it. You were up. Listen, people, you watch the show, you listen to the podcast, whatever you do, listen to Wards Wagers. Hashtag Wards Wagers. Tweet it out with the hashtag. Let us know what you did, what you bet. Let us know that you won, because you know you're going to win. A boy makes money every single time. And that was Wards Wagers, sponsored by Latani CBD Olive Oil. Brother, you got anything else before we get out of here and finish?
No, that's it, man.
All right,
that's it, man. Yeah, we're going to watch second half, and we'll see you next week. IO.
All right, enjoy your fantasy drafts this weekend. For any fantasy needs, check out Detroit BC on Twitter at Detroit BC. And don't forget, check out our new merch. Everything goes to charity. Check out my Twitter at Somerville Jeremy, or Somerville CLE. That's what it is. I forgot what it was. Somerville CLE. Check it out. I got all the things listed up there. And without further ado, let's get out of here tonight, brother. Have a great weekend. I'll see you around. And remember, as always, if you live the life you love the life you live. Night, kids.